A very good evening to you. Welcome to KUTV News at 8. My name is Nokip Kimball. And now the Senate has decided, of course, to look into the issue of MCS and members of county assemblies, that is, and the speakers. There's been issues when it comes to matters devolution in this particular country, and the Senate has decided that it will dig deeper into that to make sure that these functional positions are working in tandem in the county position. So that is one of the stories that we shall be highlighting in this particular bulletin. Sit tight and be ready to be informed. These are the lead stories. 21 arrests made, with 15 being in Kisii County. KCSE chronicles day 4. President Kenyatta presides over KDF pass-out parade in Eldoret. Kenya Power disconnects illegal connections in Baringo County. Safari 7's ready to roll out as from tomorrow 9 a.m. Our sign interpreter tonight is Moses Gitonga. Protecting the integrity of this year's national examinations has been the government's focus. Deputy President William Ruto echoed these sentiments to candidates in Moi Girls High School, even as prompt arrests have been made countrywide following exam malpractices by students and teachers alike. Christine Kamau with more.
The environment of national exams this year has been described as militarized, following the highly visible presence of security personnel, the impromptu visits of education officers to examination centers, and adhering to nitty-gritty details of opening of exam containers, transportation of exam papers to and from exam centers. Speaking to candidates from Moi Girls High School just before they sat for Chemistry Paper 2, Deputy President William Ruto said that the government was keen to ensure the examination was credible. He also promised the students of a place in institutions of higher learning, as their academic growth was important for the economy of the country.
We are all confident, and I want to thank the management of the Ministry of Education, from the CS through the PS, the chairman of our examination council, and all the teachers and all the people who are participating as invigilators, as the people who are running these exams, to say, as parents, we are confident that these exams will be exams that we will be proud of, that integrity becomes the front and center of these exams.
Meanwhile, Education Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohamed has confirmed that 21 arrests have been made countrywide following exam malpractices. Specifically, 15 people have been arrested in Kisii County as they sought solutions to a photocopied exam paper.
More fundamentally, I am this morning happy to announce that 2 of the greatest masterminds of the early exposure ring are now in the custody of NEC and security officials. The 2 were hunted down last night after a long and meticulous investigative process. I wish to promise that these 2 suspects, who are expected in court today, must serve to show that the existing stringent examination security measures will net all cheats wherever they hide, and they will be dealt with very harshly.
Whereas in Thika, 2 candidates from Heights Academy have been sentenced to serve 1 year of probation because of stealing 2 of the invigilators' phones. The students had pleaded guilty and asked for forgiveness. However, the court denied them pardon. This is the 4th day of KCSE, where 664,550 candidates across 10,077 centers are sitting for their papers countrywide. The exam is being invigilated by 37,978 teachers, and a total of 20,156 officers have been deployed to provide security, while 5,039 drivers have been tasked with delivery of exam materials. Christine Kamau, KUTV.
The Senate now wants to quell the wrangles pitting the speakers and members of county assemblies, which they say is negatively affecting service delivery at the county level. Chair of the Senate Committee on Devolution, Derito Kinyua, and his counterpart from Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, Samson Cheragei, claim that business is unusual in counties and therefore they will interrogate affected counties to create tougher solutions on the matter.
In the last 1 month, the drama and chaos witnessed in Homa Bay, Nairobi, Kakamega, Nyandarua and Kisumu county assemblies as MCAs fight to remove their speaker has made business to be unusual in the counties. Senators have now come out seeking to amend the impeachment procedure by including the Senate as the final mediator in wrangles pitting MCAs and their speakers. Chair of the Senate Committee on Devolution, Derito Kinyua, says processes are underway to make the process to reject the speakers of the county assemblies a bit tougher.
Sisi tunakuja tu kutumia zile zinaitwa alternative dispute resolution. Tunakuja kama arbiter kuhakikisha yale maswala ama grounds ambazo speaker ametolewa, je, yanakubalika kisheria, sheria zilifuatwa vizuri.
Tutaleta mswada katika bunge letu ndio tuweze kusema ya kwamba kumtoa speaker ni mpaka ile hoja ikuje katika Senate ndio tuweze kuona haya makosa yalifanywa ama hayakufanywa.
As it is, the motion to remove a speaker of a county assembly includes a motion which must be supported by at least 2/3 of the MCAs. Senators, however, want the 67 senators to have a hand in the impeachment of speakers as it is in the impeachment of governors. Further, they want the threshold to remove a speaker be raised from 2/3 to 3/4.
I know the speakers would want to protect themselves, but we have insisted as a committee will become objective so that we don't appear that we are trying to babysit or handle speakers with the gloves and ensure that issue is resolved once and for all.
Senate, we need to look at that law, among others, so that we can strengthen our institution.
Nandi Senator Samson Cheragei has attributed the presence of wrangles in county assemblies to greed and political witch hunt. Notable wrangles are those relating to the push on speakers to authorize expenditures and per diem allowances.
Fuatilia kwa uaminifu zile hela ambazo zimepelekwa katika zile county, kwa sababu mgogoro mkubwa unapatikana kwa sababu ya hela, watu wakipigania hizi pesa.
Come next week, Nyandarua Governor Francis Kimemia will appear before the committee over a claim that he has a hand in the impeachment of Speaker Ndegwa Wahome. This is following drama witnessed this week where at least 20 MCAs locked out their colleagues allegedly supporting Wahome from the chambers, leading to the adjournment of the sittings.
Allegation has it that most of the governors, because they want their issues to be rubber stamped, are the ones that are interfering with the county assemblies. As my chair has put it, that we are summoning the governor of Nyandarua County to appear before this committee so that he can shed light on the allegations of having his thumbprint on the removal of the speaker.
This comes as Ambassador Nyandarua County Assembly Speaker Ndegwa Wahome having been issued with an injunction to stop Nyandarua County Assembly from holding its sitting without him as the Speaker by Lady Justice Roslyn Wendo.
Actually agreed with us and agreed that actually there was never a sitting of the Assembly, leave alone any other due process. There was never a sitting of the Assembly to remove me from office.
Visibly, all is not well in County Assembly as today that 3 out of 59 MCAs in Machakos County Assembly impeached the finance CAC Francis Maliti on grounds of incompetence and gross violation of the Constitution.
In fact, if you look at the grounds which I brought to the House in terms of incompetence, Honorable Engineer Maliti does not have a degree. First degree on the portfolio of finance. Secondly, he has no experience.
In Garissa County Assembly House, business has not been any different from that in Machakos after staff, including members of the County Assembly, downed their tools, protesting against their Speaker, Mr. Ahmed Ibrahim, whom they accused of condemning them inside the chambers, vowing to impeach him.
What is happening today is just because the clerk said there is no enough money for the boat to travel outside Kenya, now we are having a problem because there is no money. The speaker is saying he must go by force. If there is no money that can cater for their travel.
Garissa County Assembly is an independent institution at all times, at all seconds, at all hours. Nobody can dare to dictate this assembly.
The Senate has been accused on sleeping on their oversight role, given the sporadic wrangles witnessed in the public domain. The brewing wrangles in the county assembly has been termed as unruly and aimed at ruining the reputation of the devolved institution. Aaron Mwangi, KUTV.
Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Uhuru Kenyatta, presided over the pass-out parade of 3,000 Kenya Defence Forces soldiers in Eldoret. President Kenyatta called on the recruits to be patriotic in defending the country. The 3,000 who received intensive military training for 6 months will be deployed to different points of the country, including border points, to aid in manning security. The president has further commended the soldiers for using technology in securing the country. Among those who attended the pass-out included Defense Cabinet Secretary Rachel Omamo, Chief of Defense General Samson Mwatete, and other top officials in the Defense Forces. Congratulations to those who managed to go through the training. Now, moving on swiftly to matters energy. In 2015, the government of Kenya announced the Last Mile Connectivity Program aimed at universal access to electricity by 2020. The driving force was the creation of the Rural Electrification Authority, REA, in 2007, a government agency established to accelerate the pace of rural electrification. However, in Baringo Central, Kenya Power and Lighting Company disconnected over 100 households, a move that is seen as a major setback to the government's effort to ensure that Kenyans access affordable power connectivity in rural homesteads.
In Serei and Kituro location, Ewalel Chapchap ward, electricity was disconnected in over 100 households after over 4 years of operation since the project was introduced by the government, as residents are forced to embark on the use of traditional means of cooking and lighting. Serei location in Baringo Central has been in the dark since independence, but their hope of obtaining power through rural electrification has been dimmed as Kenya Power brought down more than 120 poles without any explanation. This particular move by the Kenya Power and Lighting Company has left many questioning the government whether the project was a scam to obtain votes from them or not. Doris, a mother to a newborn, says that the Kenya Power employees disconnected her house without any explanation, forcing her to embark on the use of solar panel since she could hardly do without power.
Sisi tumenini stima tangu 2014 mpaka sai 2018. Watu walikuwa wapi? Walikuwa wapi tangu siku hiyo? Na sisi tunalipa si atulipi. Sisi tuko na watoto wadogo. Hata siku hiyo hatukulala siku mbili. Mtoto analia kwa sababu amezoea stima.
Ningependa kuuliza Head of the State President and his deputy, ile story walisema watu wapatiwe stima under last mile, kama ilikuwa ukweli ama ilikuwa ya uongo juu. Mimi nilikuwa nimepatiwa na yangu nimekatisiwa. Sasa niko kwa giza, sione watu wangu wanakaa kwa giza, hawapati stima.
Efforts to get comments from Cabinet Branch Manager proved futile despite several attempts of interview and phone calls. Residents are now threatening to stage a demonstration if the clear reason for the disconnection are not stated.
Kwani hatulipi? Kama itawashwa tutalipa kama wengine. Ni usuni kubwa hii. Ni usuni.
President wetu alikuwa anasema kila siku tunataka kila mtu apate maendeleo kwa kijiji yake. Na sasa tukitaka kupata hii hata moja hii stima wanakuja kata tena wanakatia nini? Sisi tumekasirika kabisa.
The Last Mile project is an initiative by the government aimed at facilitating the objective of affordably connecting Kenyan households to the national network grid. This is geared towards achieving a national connectivity rate of 70% by 2018 as part of the government's goal of universal access to electricity by 2020. Lydia Okeo, KUTV.
And that report by Lydia Okeo on matters electricity and connectivity in this particular country. KUTV News at 8 takes a short break. Don't go far, we still have more in store for you.
Brayo Washa Show.
Potesía, Besitiki.
Anakuja this Thursday, 8:30 p.m. He's gonna hang out with me on the list. Don't go too far away when it gets to 8:30. Please see them, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
For me, showcasing today was just to, present South Sudan, because we don't do these things most of the times. And, when I got the call, I was like, yes, I'm down, I'll do that.
Nike, being a footballer, napenda kucheza ball, nimetambua Nike.
Our topic of the day, toxic relationships. We're gonna be singing for us, Take It Slow.
Remember that the world will always fall in love with a stubborn heart, because you have to be stubborn for something you love. If you love it, be stubborn until you get it.
Back to KUTV News at 8. It is 1 week now since the sudden demise of Musyoka Mairu, father to IPA leader Kalonzo Musyoka. Peter Musyoka Mairu, aged 94, died on Saturday night, the 28th of October, while undergoing treatment at Nairobi Hospital. He is said to be buried on the 9th of November.
Preparations are in high gear to bury Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka's father, Peter Musyoka Mairu, who passed on Saturday, aged 94, while undergoing treatment in Nairobi Hospital. Various leaders led by the president are expected to attend the burial ceremony scheduled for tomorrow, 9th of November. The late has been eulogized as an iconic advisor and a relentless enforcer of a just society. In the meantime, a teacher aged over 50 years collapsed and died instantly, transforming Kisii town into a mourning scene. With disruption of businesses for a while. According to eyewitnesses, the deceased feebly walked into an eatery at Darajambili Open Air Market, sat at a table, and asked to be served with water before he collapsed and died.
Kuna mfanyikazi wa Darajambili Hotel kuja kwetu akikimbia akituambia kwamba kuna mtu amekuja ameomba maji na chakula. na kabla hajampea huyu mtu akaanza kutetemeka. Tumeona mzee ametetemeka, mzee akaenda hivyo.
Sheria itachukua mkondo wake, tutafanya upekuzi wowote na tutawafahamu baadaye. Kwa hivyo tu wangu wasiongee mambo ambayo hawayafahamu, watulie vile wametulia na kila kitu kitakuwa na mwisho wake.
Meanwhile, in Baringo County, a 46-year-old man lost his life after he was bitten by a snake in Katibel village, Barwesa Ward, Baringo North. The yesterday evening incident occurred when the 46-year-old Haron Kipchumba was busy herding his livestock when a venomous black mamba bit him on his leg. Kabutiei Sublocation Assistant Chief Alfred Cherutich, who confirmed the incident, appealed to the county government to ensure that all the health facilities in snake-prone areas are stocked with antivenom drugs to avert such cases in the future.
Marehemu alikuwa anachunga ng'ombe yake, alafu wakakutana na hiyo nyoka, na huyo marehemu alikuwa na wenzake wenye walikuwa anachunga ng'ombe pamoja. Ndio hiyo nyoka sasa ikaanza kurukia na akapata chama kwa mguu. Ngeimisa gavana mwenyewe Kiptis akutana na watu yake ya LC na waone ya kwamba wamenunua dawa hii ya nyoka na wasupply kwa dispensaries yote ili to save maisha ya wananchi.
This brings the number of those who have succumbed to snake bites in Kerio Valley region to 7 in a span of 1 year. He warned herders to be careful when grazing in areas which have tall grass and instead let their livestock graze alone into the bushes. Jamukiboi, KUTV.
Family, friends and retired boxers today congregated at Sitam Church in Parklands, Nairobi to bid farewell to the legendary boxer Dick Tiger Murunga, who passed away on the 26th of last month after a long illness. Murunga was eulogized as a role model to many, Ketsilale reports.
Pain and sorrow was the state of mourners at the Sitam Church in Parklands, Nairobi, as family and friends paid their last respect to the fallen legendary boxer who died on the 26th of October after battling with diabetes for a long period of time. His children and grandchildren have eulogized the late Tiger as a person who was loved by many across the country. Mohammed Khalifa eulogizing his grandfather as a person who cared about their well-being and advised them positively.
We always remember the spiritual smile.
Retired boxers were among the mourners at this mass. David Makumba, one of the boxers eulogizing Tiger as a friend he has worked with for a long period of time, saying he will remain a role model to many upcoming boxers.
In New Zealand, so all of us love boxing, me and Dick. But I tell you much my father, it has before more than we have done before. Thank you.
Burial for the fallen boxer is slated on Saturday, where he will be buried at the Langata Cemetery. He will forever be remembered for winning medals for our country through boxing. Kate Silale, KUTV.
And now, in the world of sports, Football Kenya Federation has written to the Confederation of African Football, CAF, expressing its displeasure with the November 7th, 2018 ruling that saw Equatorial Guinea reinstated to the 2018 Africa Women's Cup of Nations. CAF's decision meant that Kenya was stripped of the rights to participate at the competition that is scheduled to kick off on 17th of this month in Ghana. FKF has, however, initiated an appeal process at the Court of Arbitration for Sports with a view to having Kenya included in the tournament and or stopping the same from commencing until the matter is heard and resolved. On rugby, Safari Sevens will kick off on tomorrow at RFU grounds with girls under 19 from 9 a.m. There will also be veterans tournament at Impala Club from 6 p.m. The girls tournament has attracted 12 teams and will take place on Friday and Sunday. Senior men's competition alongside senior ladies kick off on Saturday at 10 a.m. The ladies teams have been split into 4 pools of 3 each, with the pool winners advancing to the Cup semi-finals pegged for Sunday, 11th November at the same venue. And in football, Manchester United stunned Juventus with 2 goals in the final 5 minutes to beat the Italian champions in Turin and give themselves a good chance of qualifying for the Champions League knockout stages. Elsewhere, defending champions Real Madrid scored 4 first-half goals to cruise past Victoria Pleasant and go top of Champions League Group J.
2 late goals gave Manchester United a memorable 2-1 comeback victory over Juventus in the Champions League group stage. Former United forward Cristiano Ronaldo scored his first Champions League goal for Juventus to put the hosts in front, hitting a superbly timed volley past David De Gea from inside the box following Leonardo Bonucci's ball.
Jakże niewiele brakowało, aby strzelił tego pierwszego gola I w końcu się tego doczekał.
Juan Mata equalized for United with 4 minutes remaining with a fine dipping free kick from 20 yards before former Juventus midfielder Paul Pogba helped bundle the ball over the line via Alex Sandro for an own goal in the 90th minute.
Well, I'm not sure whether it's gone through without a touch. Ashley Young's got away to claim it. Manchester United have the lead. Pogba was around the ball. So was Chris Smalling.
To the last 8 seasons, they're 49th.
Meanwhile, Karim Benzema scored twice as Real Madrid swept Victoria Pilsen aside with a 5-0 win in the Champions League on Wednesday. After a sluggish opening 20 minutes from the current title holders, Benzema slotted home his first 200th goal for Real Madrid before Casemiro had a free header 3 minutes later. The Frenchman nabbed his second in the 37th minute as he also nodded home with Gareth Bale, who set up the previous goal, firing home to make it 4-0 before halftime. Other matches of the night went as follows. Chris Sambu, KUTV.
And you ask yourself why Manchester United fans were untouchable today. Is because of that comeback. And on that note, we close up this bulletin. Thank you very much for watching KUTV News at 8. My name is Nokip Kimboya. Our sign interpreter tonight has been Moses Gitunga. Do have yourself a good night.
Ashikaye atashika, asiyoshika si lazimu. Tuko chondo, tuko chondo, tuko chondo, tuko chondo, tuko chondo, ha!